Everybody again, and I think we're tuned in for our 5th chakra session. So Shumanjari.
Okay, so welcome. So today we are going to address this beautiful topic of the throat chakra. Yay! It's like probably personally one of the most difficult chakra because it's really important. And so we started with the first 4 chakras until the heart kind of we could relate to it on a very physical level. But now it becomes really interesting because we start to work with more and more subtle elements, even though also the material elements are made of subtle energies. But now the way how the upper chakras are influenced is more by our own perception, our own integrity, our own understanding, rather than physical external circumstances or people. It's more connected with our karma, with our past impressions, with our conditioning. And yeah, it is. And it's also much more related also to spirituality. These upper chakras are very much influenced by how we are actually, what we believe in. And even if we, especially in our spiritual journey, how we relate to the supreme, how we relate to the essence of life. So speaking about the throat, beside the fact that today I had many personal experiences that throw me a little bit, showed me different ways of how the throat can be blocked consciously and unconsciously. I have to say it's amazing that every time we address these topics together, it always become like so many more information are coming. So I always feel like yeah, I'm also learning extremely, like so much. So I'm very grateful that we can go through this journey together. I feel very also supported by you guys joining and just people sharing their feedback. It's a very important, it's very important. And so speaking about Vishuddha is the throat. So we have the throat that we can all understand. Usually the center is connected with where the, how is in English, larynx are. And it's not just this area, but it's also connected to the shoulders, to the spine, to the upper part of the spine. So it's this whole area that is influenced by this chakra. And it's Vishuddha literally means, okay, so Shuddha means purity, means pure, purifying, and Vishu means impure. So it's the combination of these two elements, purity and impurity, that becomes transformed in this center. I will also share with you a little story from the Vedas that I feel personally has been helping me a lot understanding what this chakra is all about on a deeper level, but on a more basic level is connected to hearing and speaking. And many times people speak about the fact that we are actually the way how one speaks, the words that one says, they influence very much this chakra. So we can always choose, right, how to say the things. So it's not just about the words, but it's also about how one speaks, how one is able to express exactly what they mean. But in order to go to the speaking part, one has to also understand how to receive, how to deeply understand what is coming through. And both of these activities are centered in the throat. And it can be as easy as really, like, I feel also this topic is as simple as it sounds, is also very deep. And there are people, the more one gets into the practice of actually hearing and listening and understanding people and ourselves, is a very deep journey. And even though we may try to understand, it becomes always so mysterious of how this works, and how mysterious is the fact that we can easily understand some people and then in a more difficult way not understand actually other people in situation, because this chakra is more subtle, and so the experience is very, very based on our perception. That's why when it's in excess, this center one tend to over speak, overuse words that are not really, they don't have substance. They over criticize, always complain, always share opinion, but in a very aggressive way, in a very negative way. And when is the opposite, so it's not in excess but in defect, then one keeps for themselves, and so the body like shuts down, and then the throat shut down. We feel like there is like a stone inside that we cannot really bring it out or swallow in. It's like very difficult to be themselves, to be oneself. We will have wonderful oils that help us to speak the truth, connect to our truth, to what is important to us. And when we will do also the meditation, the main topic that we will address is like meditation, just trying to understand what's going on inside. And while I was thinking about this chakra, even though it's directly connected also with the second chakras, because also anatomically the larynx, so these glands here, they look the same, like very similar as the reproductive organs. So they have a very similar shape, and they're both influenced very much by sound. And so both the element of sound and the blue color, so also connected to the water, they very much harmonize oneself. So when we speak good words and have a good sound, also help the body relax and help us, the creative part of ourselves, to awaken, because the truth and the essence of ourselves is never, even though it may be straightforward, but is always sweet, is always gentle. And there are, in a spiritual text of the Vedas, they say every word is a song. And so immediately it's very much connected, the fact that when the speech is actually balanced, one is able to sing and move at the same time. So that's why they're very interconnected. But another point that is very important when this chakra is blocked, when it's not channeled, so when we keep the truth to ourselves, or we go into the victim mode and we start to misunderstand other people and we start to close ourselves, what happens is that we start to swallow situations, swallow experiences, swallow pain and anger and resentment, and they all go to the stomach. So many people, when they suffer from this chakra, also they may manifest a lot of problem in the stomach. One of them is acid reflux, for example. In my life, this has been very, I had for example, my mother, she always suffered from it. And it's like, and you can see people that suffer from acidity in their stomach is often because they keep swallowing their feelings and emotions, and they're never really able to process them and express them, because one of the way to process something is also to express it in our own space. So maybe writings, maybe speaking in the mirror. I always recommend so much to the people I work with, just to have a conversation with ourselves, because sometimes it can also feel like, oh, I have to write, I don't know what to write. But when it's about speaking, and it's like, yes, I didn't speak to that person said this, but I didn't want to, I felt hurt. And then when we feel hurt, we don't want to react. But at the same time, it's important that we don't swallow it either. That's why I wanted to share with you the story of from the Vedas, from the Bhagavatam, that speaks about Lord Shiva, that is very famous and known in many traditions. And during there was a time where the demons and the demigods were churning the ocean to find the Amrit, to find the nectar, that it says that is actually situated where the throat chakra is, because it's really a key. The throat chakra is the key that we use to enter the heart. So it's very, very important. And while there was this churning, poison came out. And then there was not, it was so terrible that this poison was given, they didn't know what to do. And then Lord Shiva took the opportunity to save everyone by drinking this poison. And he didn't swallow it, neither he rejected it, but it remained in his throat. And that's why he has his name Nilakanta, the blue dark throat, because and it also means like the process of purification, because in life we may see that most often we will receive some poison, we will receive situations that are not good, and this is how they will come in. But then it is our duty to not swallow it down and to not let it influence our own system, neither to spit it out on others, so then to create chaos, but to really allow it to churn into our throat in a way that we can reflect on the message that has been given and reflect on how to reciprocate it, how to give it back. So these 2 points are very important. And so this chakra mainly is there is a lot of connection with the meditation, with connecting to ourselves, meditate on the experiences of our life. We will use essential oils, and we will do also some pranayam, because pranayam, it will help us to clear also these channels. So we will use more pranayam for the next session, because they will really help us to also elevate our consciousness on that level and detox the body. So another way to clear the throat chakra is also a detox for the body on a physical level, because that will allow us to stop holding in and relax more, because also relaxing and allow the voice, allow this area to just be kind, speak kind words. When everything seems unfair, just allow first yourself to release it, to fully understand it, and then choose again to speak kind words. Because as another sage, Patanjali, said many years ago in his Yoga Sutras, the words that a weapon can hurt the body for some time, but the weapon of the throat, the weapon of the speech, can hurt a person, can hurt a soul for generations. And there is so much karma connected just because of misunderstanding, just because of not really realizing the truth about that situation. Also because there hasn't been enough time spent on meditating and on asking questions about how to fully understand something, how to really move forward. So this is an opportunity that we have together today to really meditate on this, on how can our speech become more beneficial for the people around us, and how we can free ourselves from what we are holding inside. It can be fear connected to other people, but also to ourselves. Fear of the truth of who we really are, and to have the courage to walk it fearlessly. So these are the main points. And yeah, this is pretty much little short of this topic. And if where is she gone? Mangala now would like to share. Couldn't find you on the
Waiting for more and more because it seems like you were opening, all these treasures of knowledge about this reality. I have to admit that the process is working. We're sort of going through all these centers, energy centers, and I feel I'm really having some work here. I think you said the same. So I hope my voice stands because I do have some cough, and it's definitely connected with my heart chakra and my throat chakra. So yeah, definitely it's in action, work in action. So thank you so much for bringing us to this place, understanding how the voice itself, it's like touchstone of showing us the health of the fifth chakra. So I want to address that a little bit. And you were also mentioning blue color. So actually it's the blue of fifth chakra, which we'll be working on also today. I'm using right now, I smell like a rose. And I'll speak about it later, why it helps me so much. It's really powerful. So actually, the main thought that came for me is that this is what we're actually exercising the whole time in these calls. We're really exercising our voice to speak our truth, to speak our realizations and whatever we've learned. And it becomes more and more obvious how all these chakras are nested. Yeah, so we were coming from very bodily, earthly chakras and to the wheel, and now in relationships, so all that actually connects into how we communicate, how we voice ourselves into the world. So it's it's a very powerful energy center. And you were mentioning Vishuddha as purification, and for me it was very connected with the fact how speaking the truth is actually purification. When we want to stay truthful to ourselves or truthful to, the scriptures or others, it's sort of like a purification internally sometimes, because we have many voices internally. We have many things we have received from others, impressions from before, from previous lives. And all that sometimes seems like conflicting within. And then it's always like the matter of really seeing what's my reality, what's my truth, what do I want to really communicate to others, and how. So so speaking deep truth is actually very, very purifying, and it can purify a lot of confusion for others, for ourselves. So it gives like a sense of freedom. So that's for me a very powerful point, and I'm working on it a lot, that there comes a freedom from actually being truthful, and even energetically there's a lot of freedom. There's no more restriction here. And one of the most powerful ways that I've learned how to work with the voice is to work with sacred sounds. So we are using mantras or sacred singing, and that really brings the harmony to the whole subtle body. So it's really working much more on this vibrational level, so very etheric level. We're not so much more anymore in the body, and like you were mentioning, but it's really much more on energetic level and ethereal. So the sacred sounds are very powerful for that. And one thing that I've mentioned, and it comes very much to what you were speaking about, the voice, it's like showing the health of the fifth chakra. And for example, if we have a very healthy and vibrant fifth chakra, our voice would be very resonant and rhythmic, and we could speak very truthfully and concisely and clearly. Yeah. Because we would be very connected with the body and the mind. Everything would be like in synergy. So all the chakras basically. But if any of the chakras is not balanced, we could also see that in the voice, which is very interesting. So for example, if we have any contraction in the body, imagine there's some like contraction, some, how do you call that? Blockages anywhere else. Especially connected with the first chakra, that would restrict the voice. Yeah, it would be like restricted. And if we would have lack of feeling, which is like a deficient second chakra, it would mean that our voice would be more mechanical without so much emotion. And if our third chakra would be in defect, too little will in our life, it would be like a little bit more whiny voice, kind of low voice. Or if there would be too much will, it would be dominating voice. Sometimes presence of somebody and they have very dominating voice, so it just like drives over you. So that's like an excess in third chakra. And then the fourth chakra would be like, the air, so connected with breathing. So we need good breath. If it's constricted, then our voice will not be full. That's what happens when we have congestion as well. So voice is very important expression. So it's like trying to bring resonance in our life, and that will show through our voice how we communicate with others. And your topic is similar to mine in regards to trying to express myself clearly. So expressing our truth, so what we really believe. Sometimes, especially as children, we're maybe used to just taking whatever others are saying as truth and then repeating that. But finding our own truth, integrating what we're hearing, and then putting that into synergy and actually expressing that is so much more powerful. So if we repress that part of our truth, whatever is happening for us, how we feel, how we think, how we're used to, then if we restrict that, also our etheric body will show that. So it's very important to really work on that. And another thing that was interesting for me in regards to fifth chakra is that it's so connected with creativity. And I never thought about that before. I always thought creativity is more with the second chakra, but actually creativity, because you are able to create something unique. So it's very much about expression on the outside. Yeah, going through the lower chakras, it's kind of being very manifested, but then manifesting it on the outside is really so much the point of the fifth chakra. So whatever we have been taking in, through life, impressions, knowledge, ideas, emotions, experiences, understanding, then we assimilate that and express that in one way or other on the outside. Yeah, so it could be through the voice, through other ways of creating, through writing, through speech, yeah, through teaching others. It's very, very beautiful. And just a very personal experience in my life, I've been always wondering why I have so many people with, I would now say fifth chakra in excess, people who are very talkative, who basically, you tell them how you are, they ask you how you are, you tell them, and that was all that they actually wanted to hear, and then they start to speak and speak and speak and speak, and it seems like, very dominant speech. And so I was always wondering why, and I started to realize, so it's about me, obviously. So whenever we're working on some level, on some energetic level, whichever chakra that is, it's always our balance that affects how other people would deal with us, what kind of people we would attract. So working on my balance will help me deal with people like that in a different way, obviously, and either set clear boundaries, or just whatever, work on the relationship on a different level. So that was very interesting. So it's very much self-work, and that's what I love about chakra work, that it's very much work that we're doing individually as well, while trying to basically, how do you call that, put in resonance all the energy centers. So sorry, just my cough. So yeah, throat pain or mucus here is very much this balance of the throat chakra. So many times when we're working on some energy center, then yeah, there will be issues coming up or things that we're dealing with. So I hope some of that will become more clear today. And a very interesting aspect for me was that lies in general, just telling lies or making little lies in life actually really blocks the fifth chakra. So it's a very easy way to disbalance our fifth chakra. So if we want to really go towards the health of the fifth chakra, expressing ourselves clearly, it's very important to stay truthful like that. I think I'm ready for some oils, Shimanjari. I feel like my throat is calling for some. Yeah.
We can definitely. I also, now that you were speaking, came up to me also some. We check the oils, and then I will show you some different ways to not just apply, but like some exercises that we can do. Then we do the pranayam, the chanting, and yeah, there is so much that we can do with our throat, and it's amazing. It's the place that holds the most the most weight in the body. Like the head is the heaviest part of the body, and we just have like this little, and it's like so soft and gentle, it's like soft and the strongest also. So it's very powerful. I like very much what you said about lies also. You start with one little tiny lie, and then it's the end of, of the reality. Actually, I have my father, many times he makes jokes that sometimes he tells a joke to a person, and the person believes it, and then because it's it feels real, then he start to question, was it a joke or was it real? So just this game, it's tricky. So yeah, one needs to be careful even by joking, making fun. Actually, there is a lot of truth in making jokes, and I've been working on that too, because I used to make fun of myself, or I used to make fun of situations, or you think you are funny, but actually people can get hurt, and people that can have an effect on others, even though you're like, I'm just making fun and everything is, is sweet and nothing. But then how it can come across, it can not be as funny, or especially to ourselves. I do that to myself often, and it's so tricky. So yeah, let's use the oils for the soften.
I heard that lies are like a demon of the fifth chakra, so it's actually really important to, like you said, from a small lie would come bigger, 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 and then you get entangled. So it's very important to work on that truthfulness. So yeah, will you start with the oils? Would you like to
Should I start, or you want to start?
start? I have frankincense because we were talking about the truth.
Yes.
When I looked at my hands, I was fiddling with frankincense. And it's so much the oil of truth and connection with the divine. Yeah, this is what we always speak. We know frankincense since biblical times. They were using it. They're also very often to heal the body, but also to heal a subtle body. So it's very much an oil of truth, of connecting with the divine, of a little bit more like masculine energy. But yeah, very beautiful oil if we want to actually work on speaking the higher truth. Yeah, when we're exchanging with other people different things, and we really want to come across in a truthful way with others and give them some higher truth, some higher values. This would be a very nice oil to work with for that. And the beauty of frankincense, we can always use it internally as well under the tongue. but just put it on the throat like that. It's very beautiful. And just before we started the speech, the call today, I remembered spearmint. Actually, this was the first oil that I heard about connected with speech. So people, even those who are not into emotional really healing or whatever chakras at all, they use spearmint for confident and clear speaking. So when they go to give some different speeches, they just take a drop of spearmint. It's really beautiful, sweet oil. And just take it internally. We would also rub it on our throat for this chakra's health, and this will help with this confidence and clear communication with others when we want to give them a message. So it's the most common oil that we usually connect with the speech. I came across two more. One is perhaps because of my experience, I told you, having many people with fifth chakra in excess in my life. Actually, the point is that many people have fifth chakra in excess and defect at the same time. So it's not unusual that people are very confident and very overbearing in certain situations when it comes to speech, and then they're very shy and reserved in other situations. So it can happen that people have both in excess and defect. So all of these oils will help for both, to balance both. But cedarwood I remembered because it's specially meant to balance sort of the excess part, because it's really grounding oil. It's a very oil of grounding. So we would normally use it on our first chakra. I think it actually works on all the chakras. I can check this. And then we can use it also on our throat to just work with it. And it's an oil of connection with others. So we want to connect when we're speaking properly to other people, so that it's that we actually communicate, that we're not just speaking for the sake of speaking. And the last one for me, and a very powerful oil, I'm actually so grateful to this one. And it came to me through one meditation. One time I just understood that rose is the oil that I have to use in healing. It's rose is very precious. I use the pure one, but if necessary, you could use also the one which is diluted. So rose is beautiful oil of self-compassion, of self-love, self-care. So these are all the topics which are connected also with heart chakra, of course, but with the fifth chakra, we can then actually work really beautifully to sweeten, our truth, and to just find self-compassion in our expression. It's so important, actually, that we don't have to be hard on ourselves and whatever patterns we have been getting from perhaps other places. So using rose will be very beautiful for that work. And you can feel it, it's just sweet. It just melts away all the anxiety and worries and tension that we might collect because we're trying to restrict something. I shouldn't say that, I shouldn't say that, But self-love many times means that we have to be assertive, to put our boundaries. And that can do in a very sweet way. So that was from me.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Just came up to my mind also regarding that I didn't say before. Here there is the oh my god, I lost it again. You see? Let me use it to speak about bergamot. Here we have the thyroid, you see, comes back. So the thyroid gland that is very much regulated. So with people that are suffering from thyroid problems, this is bergamot is really an oil that, it's funny because it's connected with the third chakra, but it's very influenced. Like we can see, even though the stomach is down there, the hormone is up here that regulates also the stomach. So that's why when this is unbalanced, people gain a lot of weight or they become very, very skinny. They cannot gain weight, and it's regulated on this center. So bergamot definitely to use in situations where the thyroid, people may have problems with it, because it helps the individual to accept themselves, accept the situation. And combining with bergamot, also adaptive, they go very well together when we feel that we are transitioning in life, when we feel that new situations, new experiences, new purification, and then adaptive and bergamot, they help together really to move smoothly through situation, and also to allow the speech to not be hold, even though there may be a lot of confusion and fogginess. And for the confusion and the fogginess that are also influenced from the upper chakra is DDR prime with the rosemary. That's the balance I do, because the DDR prime helps to clear out, like to slow down, like there is a, because in DDR prime is a blend, that there is also like a Mangala was speaking about frankincense and many others like lemongrass, thyme, wild orange. It's a beautiful blend that really helps to remove this like heaviness that is also connected with the sixth chakra that we will speak next time, and also rosemary that is also connected here. But I use it very often when I have to speak, because I am very emotional. Usually when I speak, I as a personality, I just put a lot of emotion into it, and then I may struggle to find the right words to really express. And rosemary kind of helps to understand better the emotions that are going on inside, in a way that it's easy to speak about them without feeling guilt, without feeling like ashamed of. So these two together. And last one, but we know very well, it's lavender. That I use lavender all the time. I do massages, I do sessions. Lavender is good to clear from the energy. When I work with people energetically, I always have my bottle with lavender that I spray, and it removes all tension, all energy from other people. It's very powerful. But I didn't know that how much it helps to be cool about ourselves. It's not even just acceptance. It's more like feel good about who we are, like being yourself. Like you can be yourself, and it helps. That's why it helps release energy from other people, like make a little boundary so that you can be yourself. You don't have to protect yourself. You don't have to like stay in that space of uncertainty or still feeling hurt or uncomfortable. It really helps to make the body comfortable and the speech comfortable. And that's why it's always coming to me, because yeah, I can take very easily energy from others, especially when it's like for a longer period of time that I'm with other people, and then I feel disoriented, and then lavender has been my savior in this timing. So it's really amazing how many how helpful it is. So this is my one to go often, very often. Even though, I mean, even sometimes like, and that's the funny thing, I use it so often that every time I smell it, if I wouldn't look which highlight it is and I would just pick it up and smell it, I wouldn't recognize it. I'm like, it's still like, yeah, it's teaching me like, and still a long way to fully understand how much, how important the lesson is from this art. So it's a little experience.
This is far out testimony about lavender. No, but I understand you. I do. The oils have so much depth that resonate, yeah, because they're so powerful, the vibration of the oils. So we can learn so much from that. Yeah, I guess we have the same experience that we could speak still count of couple of hours. And yeah, we will definitely go more in depth.
Yeah.
or we feel this is just really for us to orient ourselves together and you know, kind of stir up this eagerness. And we're so happy that you're all here and that we can learn together. I think because we said that in the end we'll have some time for sharing and so on, perhaps we could go into the practical part of balancing the chakras. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So I will just make a short introduction and then Shimanjari will totally take over. Because I was, when I first heard about the work one can do on the fifth chakra, it made so much sense to me. So first of all, of course, if we do have an opportunity to sing devotional mantras, to sing in kirtan, it's becoming very, very known all over the world. This will really help us with balancing actually all the chakras. Yeah, like we said in fifth chakra, all the other imbalances would be shown. This is actually known for every chakra. It's like that. But with fifth, because we're focusing right now with the voice, it's more visible. So it's not, when we are dealing with others, it's not so much just, okay, let's balance the chakra, but also we're trying to learn how to do it ourselves, for ourselves, when we are experiencing some difficulties in life and we see, oh, I cannot express myself clearly. Something is happening and there's something in me conflicted and I cannot express it properly. So there is a very simple practice actually, to okay, that we can take just in general to kind of be aware more of how things that we do affect our fifth chakra. So one very simple exercise that we could do for, let's say, a week. Right? We have a week till next Thursday before we have our work on the sixth chakra. So we could say that for 1 week, we decide not to lament and not to criticize and you know, just speak bad about people, situations, but just to stay in this kind of serene, truthful space and just observe how things are going. So whenever we have the tendency that we want to say something and we know it would be damaging for us, we can do a very simple meditation. So we just sit in silence and we imagine like a blue wave coming. You know, that's anyway the blue color, and just takes that away. So it's not that we're restricting and trying to repress, but we're basically allowing the energy to flow away. We don't have to express it because we know it will harm ourselves or others. And then another very nice exercise, which is good, especially if we have fifth chakra in defect, which can happen, like we can have both, that we read something, let's say if we have some devotional literature, we read for some time alone, and then we speak about it to another person for 3 minutes, and we just express what we have read. So that's a very nice exercise that we can do with a friend or partner, and just express what we have read, what we have understood deeply about it. So this endeavor is actually stimulating the fifth chakra. And then, of course, whatever creative we can do, like with rhythm, singing, drawing, writing, is also really will be helping us to balance the fifth chakra. So these are just some ideas that we can do during the next week. But whatever now in this meditation will come out with Shimanjari, I think it's also a very beautiful way to learn ourselves to balance this chakra. So I let it to you now, Shimanjari. And I think you can all sit and relax.
Yes, we will start by, I thought we put the oil first, so we still have it, and then
So any oil,
we choose it.
Any oil that they choose.
Yeah, exactly. Choose. You can also put like different options of the one you have connected to this chakra, and then close your eyes, like Gopi Gita always teach me. Use your left hand and just pick one. So that's also powerful. So let's do it together. Okay. Guess which one I picked?
Rosemary.
Lavender.
Lavender, of course.
Like, of course. Yeah. And then we
Play the music, or
yeah, you can start playing the music. You can keep this oil. So you can gently start to inhale through the nose, put your shoulders up, and exhale. Release it gently. And again, inhale, shoulders up, and exhale. Release down. And one more time, inhale, shoulders up, and exhale. Release, and then allow the breathing to slowly feel comfortable. Would like you to also sit in a way that your head is nicely relaxed. And just allow yourself to acknowledge if there is any tension in the body. Acknowledge how is the neck, shoulders, and just bring in some awareness, some full presence without judging, even if they may feel a little painful. Without judging, just allowing ourselves to let go of any tension. And then we can take again the oil, put one drop in our hands, and then massage it. You can choose maybe behind the neck, maybe you need it more at the front. You can see where it feels better. And if you have any pain in this area, you could also use deep blue. And then 3 times you're gonna smell it. And exhale. Allow the smell. Go deep inside the throat. And we are going to just also give a little massage again to the neck. You can move your neck to the side, right side and left side. To help us to bring awareness to how it is. Right side and left side. And then forward and backward. And again forward. And exhale backward. And then we keep for a few breaths the jaws. The jaws are also connected with the throat. We keep the mouth gently open and we just allow the head to go backward. And breathe through the mouth. And coming back. Again, you can gently with your hands, just gently pull up the neck, the head. You can just place your hands under the jaws and just gently pull up. And also at the back, you can place your hands behind your ears and just gently pull up. And then exhale. With one hand, we're gonna massage also outside. So the tension from the neck all the way down to the hand and other side, from the neck down to the other side. You can release all the tension that goes to the hands and then out from the tip of the fingers. And then gently inhaling and exhaling. We're gonna use Ujjayi breathing during this. You can do it a little bit now, but also during the rest of the session, you can use Ujjayi breathing. We will do it strongly together. So Ujjayi is when the throat is gently closed. So when we inhale, we make like a special sound. So imagine with the mouth open is like is the sound, but the mouth will be closed. We can still hear the sound of the nose that goes through the larynx and making this deep sound of how the hair goes through. That will help us to remain focused and allowing this channel to become purified. And together inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep inhaling deeply and exhaling completely. Inhaling deeply and exhaling completely. We're also going to do the mantra chanting, so we can also visualize. The mantra is Ham, H-A-M. Mantras are very powerful. Bija mantra is very special, but you can also chant any mantra. Actually, will all help, especially the Maha mantra. But we will do together Ham this time. So first we exhale. Then we inhale. Hum. Inhale. Keep visualizing also this blue color in the throat area, just bringing awareness. If you can't see the color, just being aware of the throat. Inhale. And now we're going to do it faster, 5 times. So inhale, hum will be like this. So we can do it together. Deep inhale. Hum, 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 hum. And then exhale. And one more time together, a very long one. Inhale. Hum. Just breathe gently. Just bring awareness to our body, bringing relaxation again to the shoulders. Just gently notice the shoulders soften more and more. I want you to also open a little bit your mouth and just allow the jaw. This is actually a very important channels here where the jaws are, where we receive information. So the more it's relaxed, you can also use your finger and give a little massage and open. That's why when we yawn, is a very, very important message the body is sending to us. It means that we need to release. Sometimes the environment can be tiring. Sometimes we may feel tired. And if we allow the body to actually yawn in these moments, that's such a powerful channel to release negativity or just inner stress and tension. You can just gently move and open the jaw. And we go to a little last meditation that, like Mangala was saying, this ability to just observe situations, observe people, allowing our thoughts to just be kind. And if we find ourselves criticizing, just coming back to the center, knowing that we are safe where we are right now, when we connect deeply within. We are safe exactly where we are. A beautiful affirmation is, I speak my thoughts clearly, with grace and integrity. You can repeat with me. I speak my thoughts clearly, with grace and integrity. I speak my thoughts clearly, with grace and integrity. And another affirmation is, I am aligned to the highest truth, and communicate this with love and honor. I am aligned to the highest truth, and communicate this with love and honor. I am aligned to the highest truth, and communicate this with love and honor. Deeply breathe, deep inhale, deep exhale. And then I want you to just gently connect to yourself through this little meditation. And just try to connect if there is something in your heart that you haven't really been able to communicate. If there is something in your heart that you feel it's blocking you, like it feels uncomfortable, that you yet haven't been able to communicate, it's very important that we use this time to reflect of what we are holding back, because we don't want to let it go down and down and down and then arrive to the stomach where it will give us stomach pain and all kinds of problems. It's okay to take our time to understand, but also we need to take the time to release it in a very sweet and gentle way, connecting to the higher purpose of our existence, the higher purpose of our speech, the higher purpose of our actions. And again, let's ask ourselves, what is it in my heart or in my mind that I haven't really fully understood or communicated yet? And then also ask ourselves how important it is for me to speak the truth, to say, to communicate clearly, and release it from my body, from inside. Another question can be, what is that I want to realize in this life? What is important to me that I need to realize so that I can move forward? It can be self-compassion. It can be other people. It can be a specific person. How to care for a loved one. How to care for ourselves. Or it can be like how to attain eternal peace and love in our heart. We need to remind ourselves daily of what do I need to realize before I can clearly communicate, before I can clearly and fully be myself without fear. And what is the obstacle that I need to overcome so that I can move forward in this direction? What is the obstacle that is stopping me from realizing my own truth? What is the obstacle that is stopping me from realizing and sharing the truth? And just stay with it. Don't look for answer. Allow the answers to come to you. Allow things to come to you and to be open to receive more understanding. Be open to receive. And be open to give understanding. to give kind words. And slowly you can come back. Thank you all very, very much. And we can start with questions and